Avery back in the starting lineup?
Yes. So it'll be Rondo and Avery, the one of the two, Jeff, and then Basket.
Is it tough, do you think, in Jared's mind to move back to Jared?
No, he was good. He was great. I mean, he actually mentioned it the other day that he was expecting to and looking forward to that role. I don't think he looks at it. I think he looks at it with the right frame of mind. The other day, obviously, he played almost all of one for us. This way, he's going to get to play both off the ball and on it. He's a pro. He gets it. And, Avery's got now 3 games under his belt. Hopefully we can, be even more consistent on down the line with all those guys available.
How has Avery progressed in those 3 games?
Well, I think more than anything, he's just trying to, get his wind back and feel comfortable playing again. I thought he did a good job in a lot of ways in Dallas. Didn't make as many shots as he'd like to on the trip, but I'm a little bit less concerned about that. I think that the hardest part is getting your wind back and making sure that you're getting back into the rhythm of the game. I thought he gave us a lot. Obviously, he made a huge play late in that game, gave us a chance down 1 with 18 seconds to go or whatever it was.
Is his defense about as good an indication of what he can do on the ankles?
Yeah, so I think laterally he looks better than the first time he came back. Laterally, that would be my impression. So clearly he feels better, so that's positive.
How's Pat's deal with Spires tomorrow?
Haven't talked about it at all. Don't know what will happen at the end of that. Know that we are thin on wings with size, and so that being said, obviously he's a wing with size. What we do moving forward, I don't know. I love having him around. I think he's great. He's an unbelievable teammate, and I think when he's played, he's given us good games.
I know you're focused on the Celtics all season, but NCAA tournament coming up.
It started yesterday.
Well, that's true. It did start yesterday in some people's minds. But just is this the time of the year that you're thinking about past years when you were in the tournament?
With nothing but fond memories. I think that's the thing. Hey, Bill, I coached when we didn't make it too, as an assistant, and then one of my years as the head coach. And, that's not a fond memory. Sitting there watching and on the phone with your friends that are also not in it, all miserable. But I think, looking back, just great opportunities. The best thing about it is looking and seeing what all those guys are doing now and how they benefited from it, whether they are a basketball player, or whether they're, in graduate school, or whether they're working in the corporate world in Indianapolis. So I think that's the neat part when you look at it and all the times you have together. So you look at it fondly. I'm paying attention to it because I'm a sports fan, and everybody that's a sports fan pays attention to the tournament. And I'll root for my friends, really hard with no care if we ever meet in a later round.
So who were they?
I've got a bunch of them in there. And I know so many people that are involved, but obviously it's the people that you've either worked with. And, I think just off the top of my head, I think of the Thad Mott at Ohio State, who was my first boss, and LaValle Jordan, Jeff Meyer at Michigan, who were with us when we were at Butler. So, and you go on down the line with people that you and it's hard because here's the hard part, right? One of my assistants, Kevin Kuick's at Dayton, they play Ohio State first. So, all of that's hard, but you do root for all of them to have a great experience. And you root for the kids to play well. That's a fun time when the kids really play well.
Is it kind of refreshing to be able to look at it as a fan and not be worrying about having to...
Mark, I said for the last 13 years that the thing I missed the most was being a fan. And in this tournament, when I have time, when I'm not getting ready for who we're playing or just working, then I'm going to treat it as being a fan. Yeah, I'm going to treat myself to being a fan a little bit. And I'm looking forward to that. I have one at home, but it's just an in-home deal. and I'm not going to get into the picks. I'm not going to put myself out there like that. I filmed my 4-year-old daughter picking hers, and it is quite entertaining, as you can imagine. Americans in the Final Four because we have an American flag.
What's the winner?
What's that? No, we don't do any. We don't do anything. We don't do any betting. We're not starting that.
You got to tell us if you picked a mid-major to make the Final Four, though.
I did.
You did. Okay.
Speaking of back being a fan, we talked about Reggie Miller a lot. What was your impressions when Ray Allen was coming up on Reggie Miller's record?
Yeah.
Shooting guy. What were your thoughts on that too?
Well, first of all, I think there are a lot of good shooters in the NBA. One of the things that really stands out in this league is when you leave guys open, they usually make it the really good players. I mean, they're very consistent in making big ones. You look at Chris Bosh, the number of shots he's made here, and just recently, big, huge game winners. From 23 feet, 18 feet, over and over and over. And then there's some elite guys that can do it standing still and running. And that's what Reggie was, and that's what Ray is. There's not many guys like him. I think the NBA distance on the three-point line makes it a lot more difficult to be running out away from the basket, playing with your right or left foot, and shoot that thing on the move. But there are very few guys you're really, really fearful of doing that. And, I think Reggie was probably the guy in the 90s, and Ray Allen's been the guy in the 2000s.
You played one game against Miami with Avery Bradley in the second, but for the most part without him. How does it change the dynamic defensively without him out there against this team?
Well, I don't know what their plans are with Wade tonight, but obviously Wade is a critical part of their team, and Avery's a critical part of ours. For Avery, it's great that he's back and really rolling, and hopefully we can get on a good run here to end the season. But he's important. I mean, he's really important. We talked about. Mark mentioned it about defensively what he brings, and I think the energy that he brings, the ability to score when things aren't going well. We're not shooting very well right now, and so any influx of scoring that we can get, the better.
Coach, what can you tell us about your big guys? They're all pretty active right now.
All the big guys?
Yeah, your big guys.
I think they're doing a pretty good job. We've kind of talked about here that they're all a little bit unique, but they're all probably best suited to be fours that are playing. And Joel's probably our one true five, and he's not playing as much. But I hope that we get to have opportunities that he plays a little bit here and there, because I think he's a guy that I'd like to see how he can protect the rim for us and defend the post. But they're all good, and especially on given nights. I think Humphreys has been as consistent as anybody we've had on our team, guards or bigs, throughout the year. And everybody else is Bass is a guy that's been doing what he does for a long time. I think Sully's obviously had huge moments for his sophomore year, and his chance to kind of get past an injury as well. And then Kelly is progressing about as well as I think we could have hoped. He's playing great right now, so they're doing what they can, and I think it's hopefully gaining valuable experience, especially those young guys. Garden Dirk the other day with 2 or 3 minutes ago in the game, I thought Kelly did a pretty darn good job, and what a valuable experience for them.